Thanks for joining the live stream, arm wrestling fans. We'll be going live for about 1 hour discussing mainly this East versus West subject and maybe also wherever the chats wants us to go. And then from tomorrow onwards, I would like to do live streams which will cover more than one topic. We're going to cover more than one topic here as well, but those will be more, I'll say, predictable about the topics that we are going to discuss that day. I can already see maybe 20-30 comments. 31 people have already joined. Devon is ducking Vitali since 2018. Devon is also not talking about this subject matter clearly. Like, he's not explaining why he doesn't want to go there, because he was saying that his life was being threatened, but now Engin has publicly gone out and he has said that no, why would I want to do anything to Devon? He was there with me in Tbilisi as well. Why didn't I do anything there if I wanted to harm him? And the other topic was that he has already promised to Brian Shaw that he won't be competing anywhere before that. So that also shouldn't be a problem because they've already discussed this with Brian. And I hope the audio and video qualities are okay. Today I purchased the membership of this StreamYard app. You're not seeing the StreamYard logo. I'll be able to easily screen share. I'll be able to easily go live with people. I mean, you can do that sort of thing in the unpaid version as well, the free trial version. You can go live in 720p. This one is 1080p. But I paid for it just because now I feel like, man, I need to go live every day. That is the only reason why I paid for this software. It was like maybe $20 a month, a little bit less, something like that. Howdy all. What's up, Mr. Pradeep? What's up, Tall Paul Hutchins Jr., Devon fanboy? Devon just pissed, man. He doesn't have to comment on everything. He said he has bit a million times. But the problem is, brother, he needs to explain. If the whole event is dependent on him, then he owes us an explanation. I don't know why we fans feel powerless. Like, we should hold a lot of power, not individually, but combined we should hold a lot of power. Like, we are the ones who are going to be paying for the event, and from that money the athletes will get their salary. So if because of one athlete the event is not going to happen, don't you think he owes an explanation to us fans that why isn't he going there, even though he may have done that already? But if there are new things that are out now, why not give us an explanation again? I think it's fairly justifiable. Devon is a Jew. Baku confirmed. Who said? The media guy. Yeah, he's the only person speaking about it. Kamil Jablonsky recently came out. He said that since he's talking about this stuff publicly, it must mean that he has already discussed this with Robert Baxter, basically East versus West. So is he speaking the truth? The question also is, if the event isn't ready, why would he tell everyone that the event is ready? Like, what if everyone decides to show up there? What is he going to do then? Won't he be held accountable if the thing is not confirmed? Like, if I tell you to go confirm an event and you talk with the venue and everything is fine, you tell me that yes, everything is fine, book all the tickets and have all the athletes come here, everything has already been confirmed. Why would you lie about that? That's the question. No one is giving Devon power except public opinion. Devon is pulling every day, everywhere, building the sport. He grinds day in and day out. Sorry, not sorry. The public and masses won't want him more than anyone. Yeah, I agree. Nothing that you said I can disagree with. Bro, they should all come live and solve this shit. I disagree with that, Dipanshu. They should all discuss this stuff behind the scenes and then maybe come live and explain the conclusions that they've come to. Can Devon go to both? If he didn't compete right-handed against Alex on 15th of August, then yeah. Conte 19, shut up. Are you talking about me or someone else? If you want me to shut up, there's a very simple solution to make that happen. Just go away from the live and I'll automatically shut up. Currently, where are you? In India, Rajasthan? But we should also know that what's happening, as you said, are we paying them? Yeah, we are paying them. Why not? Unfortunate, we aren't gonna see a Vitali versus Devon match. Yeah, maybe not now. It is going to happen for sure. Maybe some other day, but it will happen. The only problem with this StreamYard is, even though I've like fully selected the full audio option, 200% mic volume, still the mic volume in this particular software is very low for whatever reason. I did an interview with an Indian arm wrestler today for the Hindi channel, and then I'm watching it, still my audio is pretty low. I have to hold the microphone literally like this. Now it must be fine. I hope so. Who will win between Devon versus Vitali? I think Devon got the match. Devon fans think it's cakewalk to get USA visa for Vitali. Please explain the visa process for them and why it's not worth for Vitali. Yeah, initially it was that Vitali needs to stay at Azerbaijan or wherever he's getting the visa from for 1 week. He has to stay there, and that is not practical. What is practical for Devon is to expect the Europeans to come to North America this time, because they have been traveling over there for like how many events now? 20 events now? More than that. But it has not been the same for the European arm wrestlers. They have always had some easy travels. It is not easy for the Russians now, but anyone other than that does not have any right to complain why the event is happening on USA soil. So they should be going there. But for the Russians, yeah, this time, why did they have all of the Russian arm wrestler matches this time? Zaur Pezulaev, Sagov, Vitali, and I think a couple of more Russian arm wrestlers. When there was a possibility that they might need to go to USA. I mean, yes, it was not public, but the inside news must already be out to all of them, to Engin, to Devon, to Robert Baxter, to everyone. Good morning. Did anyone give any feedback about the audio quality? What do you think about Muratov versus Dadikian? I think it's a good match. I think Muratov will win it, but he might get pinned. He might get pinned for the first time by Dadikian. Unfortunate, we aren't going to see a Vitali versus Devon match here. Hemant Manoj. It shouldn't be a guy, right? It should be an organization confirming, yes. But the thing is, it's not difficult, Hemant. Everyone keeps on saying, well, it's just a random guy in Baku. He's saying the event is available. He's not a random guy. He was assigned that task by East versus West. East versus West is going to trust his words more than anyone else. I shouldn't even say more than anyone else. He's the only person whose words they are going to trust. So you just cannot simply say that he's just a random guy. What does his words mean? To East versus West, they should mean everything. So to us also, it should mean something. And it doesn't take a very smart person to figure out that Robert Baxter is not able to convince Devon to go to Baku, and he doesn't think that the Baku event is possible without Devon. So there is your answer. If anyone asking why haven't East versus West announced it if Baku event is available, because they're not sure if they can go there or not. Not because of the venue problem, but because of the Devon problem. They don't think that without Devon, the pay-per-view is possible. That's why they have not announced it publicly. I mean, how much inside information do you need to find out to come to this simple conclusion? The only reason why he's announcing it from over there that the event is available, come here, but Robert isn't, is because Devon is not going there. It's as simple as that. Who's the main villain according to you guys? Main villain. I would say the villain of this situation is maybe, European arm wrestlers. They are the biggest villain. More than Engin, more than Devon. The guys who quit, they are the real villain. Denis Cyplenkov, Zaur Pezulaev, Vitali Laletin, Hermes Gasparini, Kamil Jablonsky. They are the real villains of this situation. If it was just Engin who didn't quit, who quit and nothing else changed, then nobody was the villain in this situation. Nothing would have happened. A combined force of like 30 arm wrestlers quitting. If they told Robert that we know that this guy Devon wants to change rules, don't do that, otherwise we're out. I think Robert would have listened to that. They don't need Engin Turzi for that. Come on, man. Come on. If you can't speak English, then translate. Translate using AI or Google translation, simple text translation. Do something. But I don't think to prevent the rules from being changed, they needed Engin Turzi. In the rules meeting, when the referees were asking people in the initial days of King of the Table if you agree with this rule or not, none of the guys said anything. They just stood still there like statues, and then they complained that Devon is changing the rules. Of course he will. Where were you? When Devon was changing the King of the Table rules, why didn't you stand up and say, don't change this rule, I'm out. I prepared according to these rules and this is what I was promised. If you change it now, I'm out, I'm going away. And probably I'll take a couple of others with me as well. No referee in this world would dare to change the rules then. No organizer can do that. So to act like 30 arm wrestlers need to quit and they cannot overpower Devon when he's trying to manipulate the rules, then you're not a very important person in the organization anyways. If even your combined force cannot stop Devon from doing something, that's weird. I'm not even an arm wrestler. I can stand there in front of Devon while he's trying to change the rules, and I can tell the referee to not change it, and I can guarantee you that the rules won't be changed, even if Robert Baxter also wants that. So it's not like that. They should speak up. Instead of quitting, they should speak up, and it will solve all of the problems. So yeah, nobody's the villain in this situation except the European arm wrestlers who have quit with Engin. Engin is terrible for arm wrestling. We had a chance to get rid of him, and now he's back. Such a shame. With him at the helm, arm wrestling will never reach its true potential. Should Devon relax on pancakes? Maybe a couple of years later, after he arm wrestles Morozov, Vitali, all of the super heavyweights. Then when he goes down in weight, that's when he can probably just be on TRT, 200 milligrams a week, and that would do the job for him. I disagree, Pradeep. Devon has missed half of the East versus West events and they all did fine. You can run an event without Devon. I am not saying that I believe there cannot be an event without Devon. Robert Baxter believes that there cannot be an event without Devon. That's what I was saying, Woody. You can run, yeah, it's just preferred by many, including me. Baku, never been confirmed. Yes, that's why it is not confirmed, because there is no other big match. If you don't have Devon on the card, you need Hermes Gasparini, you need Levan Saginashvili, you need Denis Cyplenkov. If not all of these three, Vitaly Laletin. If not these four, then you surely need at least Michael Todd. But since none of these guys are competing, that's the problem. That's why they need Devon. Vitaly isn't there. Vitaly, I mean, he was there if Devon also competed, but Levan, Hermes Gasparini, Denis Cyplenkov. So you tell me, Woody, UK now. Can the event still happen with all of these athletes missing? I don't think so. 158 people watching. So who do you guys think is the real enemy here? Mention in the comments. I'll read as many comments as I can. Thanks, Pradeep. It's obvious, but some people are so dumb. I'm not saying that an event without Devon can never happen, but this cannot, for sure. This event without Devon will not succeed. They'll probably sell like 5,000 pay-per-views with the absence of not just Devon, but all of the other top arm wrestlers who have the potential to sell a lot of pay-per-views. European pullers are the type to hide behind their Instagram. If Engin is fired, the whole league will crumble. I don't think so. And okay, let me just read, since we are going live here. I never talked about the Matt Rhodes live stream. So yesterday I was watching it. I watched it halfway through when it was uploaded. Now I watched it completely. So I do have some points that I needed to talk about it, and I think this live stream is the perfect time to discuss that. So the first point which I found interesting, which I found I needed to comment on, was building a card without Devon. You can see that I've prepared my notes. I hope it is not mirrored or something. So yeah, Building a card around Devon. That's why I remembered this Matt Rhodes interview, because we were just discussing that topic. They said that they were intentionally building a card around Devon. First thought in Matt Rhodes' mind was, okay, we need to have Devon. He's going to compete against someone else. Let's find his opponent. When the opponent is locked in, now, okay, let's try to find other matches. That was their thought process. He believes that Devon Lett is that important. Okay. And I would agree that they cannot sell pay-per-views without Devon. If these guys, Hermes, Vitali, Levan, Dennis, these four are also not there. You don't need just one of these four. You need two of these four. Hermes, Vitali, Levan, and Dennis. Two of these four must be present if you want to sell pay-per-views without Devon. Like profitable number of pay-per-views, if you want to cross the 20,000 pay-per-view number, then you must do that. So then he said that anyone can do matchmaking. I agree and I disagree with this point. Why do I agree with this point? Because you can, even a non-arm wrestler, you can show him, let's say I wanted to have a match between maybe Schoolboy and John Brzezinski. You can show a non-arm wrestler, try to find, I'm not saying there were many common opponents there, but if there are two arm wrestlers which have many common opponents, like 2-3 matches, maybe they've competed in the past as well, even a beginner can analyze those matches and come to a conclusion if this is going to be a close match or not. Anyone in this world can do that. And I think that's what Matt Rhodes was trying to say. And why do I disagree with him? I disagree because matchmaking is not as simple as that. When he was saying that Neil Pickup is one of the best matchmakers in the world, he can replace Engin, I doubt that. Because for matchmaking, especially when the lesser known European arm wrestlers are involved, you need to be active. You need to be actively watching all of the Asian arm wrestling events, all of the European arm wrestling events, like literally all table 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and the finals. Those 9 3-hour live streams you need to watch. And then after that, you need to watch these same 9 3-hour live streams of the World Championship as well, WAF. And then you need to be contacting with these athletes in some way or other, maybe directly, maybe through someone else, because Engin Turzi knows if Vladimir Myrov is injured or not, if he has trained or not in the past 6 months. Engin knows if Abdul Manaf Tuziev has been training or not, or is he recovering from the injury. Neil Pickup doesn't know that. Neil Pickup probably saw Abdul Manaf Tuziev compete 3 years before he competed at East versus West. So how can Neil Pickup confirm a match for that guy? You need to be super active and have some kind of ability to directly contact with these guys. Otherwise, it's impossible. Matchmaking is going to be impossible. Yes, anyone can find an opponent for Hermes Gasparini. Anyone can tell you that Hermes is a heavy favorite against Artyom Morozov, but you can still confirm that match because unlike Vitali, even though Hermes may be stronger than Vitali, he's not going to flash pin Morozov. Let's be honest. He's probably going to beat him in like 5 seconds, but he cannot flash pin him like Vitali Laletin did. So yeah, you can make this match happen, even though Hermes is going to win 3-0. Anyone can confirm Devon versus Vitali. Not a problem, but to have matches for these guys, like imagine David Samushia at East versus West 3 or 4 event, whatever it was, his match after his initial Paul Lynn loss. How do you find an opponent for this guy? In order to do that, you need to talk with Samushia. You need to ask him, bro, you have been absent from arm wrestling for like a couple of years. Have you been training? Have you been eating well? Are you juiced up now? That's, I'm quite sure, a question that Engin asks all of these WAF arm wrestlers who have now stopped competing at WAF. You need a bunch of questions. You need to ask them questions like that before you can confirm a match for them. Levs, Regasa, Kalinishenko, Prudnik, and Kamil should just sell banana since they can't make pay-per-view sales. Hi Pradeep, hello. ILLU. Pradeep. What do you think about Vitali 100 kg bicep curl? I've already discussed that in a video. I think it was cool. He could have done a little bit more than that. No other arm wrestler can match Devon Aura. So he is in danger. Who is in danger? Neil Pickup could easily pick matches. I just explained to you why he cannot do that. I mean, obviously he can have like good 10 matches on the card if you're saying that, but many athletes that Engin would invite to the organization, they'll be missing out. First AI governed league. Devon Aura is still bigger than Percy Levan. Okay, the next point was he mentioned that Engin had personal problems with Ryan Bowen. He was a good commentator, and Matt Rhodes wanted a match between Schoolboy and Ryan. That couldn't happen because of Engin's personal issues. So it had nothing to do with growing the sport. Engin's intention was to first sort out his personal beef by banning some people and then maybe think about growing the sport of arm wrestling, which was obviously not good. But this Ryan versus Schoolboy example is not a good example, even though the point is something that I can kind of agree with. Because Ryan versus Schoolboy did happen later on, and it wasn't a close match. It wasn't a close match. It wasn't boring either, I can say that. But still, it was a 6-0 win for Schoolboy. He did say that if Engin gets rehired, then it's just a ticking bomb, and the same thing will happen again. And as you may have also heard me say the same thing, I agree with Matt Rhodes here. I think if Engin is working again with the organization, these things are bound to happen again. Maybe like within 6 months. Again, for sure. Wonder Bucket is a member of the channel. If you can also become a member. I'm not uploading any specific content there right now, but if you just want to support arm wrestling news, then maybe you can do that. If Devon truly believes Engin was trying to kill him, that's hard to brush off and just go back to normal. Would you trust someone who tried to do that to you? But Devon did trust him. Engin was there in the Tbilisi event. So that truly, which you have mentioned in the capital letters, that belief should not go up. If nothing happened in Tbilisi, then that belief should go down. Now you have seen one event where the guy who said he's going to kill you, he didn't do anything. So you still cannot have the same level of doubt. It needs to go down. Neil is so knowledgeable. Yes, he is. Mazahir. Even though Ryan Bowen beat Mazahir Saidu and Schoolboy destroyed Ryan, I still think at that time Mazahir versus Schoolboy would have been a better match than Ryan Bowen versus Schoolboy, because Mazahir Saidu's raw horsepower is more than Ryan. Like the 3 rounds that he won, like he easily flash pinned Ryan. Not a problem. BTR Arm Wrestling League ? Is that Bangalore Top Rollers? I did get a message from them. Even I can do better matchmaking. Americans love wrestling, the worst and fake sport ever. I'm a big fan of wrestling, even though I've not watched it for like last 10-15 years. 15 years maybe. But I was also a fan of wrestling. It's not rocket science to be a matchmaker. Yes, I just explained what you need to be a matchmaker. We have a super sticker from Phil Woody, who's also a moderator of the channel, by the way. I don't remember when and why I made Phil Woody. I rarely have any moderators on the channel. But yeah, he is a moderator. Thank you, sir, for the €2 super chat. Wow, we have a couple of more super chats, by the way. How did I miss them? Okay, it's after that comment. Old moldy scrotty with ZAR. I forgot that currency again. 35. Thank you. I'm still trying to digest Kamil going out of his way to badmouth Devon, to imploring Devon to go to Baku. Just what? Yeah, Kamil deleted his yesterday's video. I talked about that. I'm not sure if in that video he was bad-mouthing, but you may be talking about some other video. But this time he was just requesting Devon to come to Baku. So that was what I also mentioned in the video, that are the Europeans already starting to realize that their paycheck can also depend on Devon showing up at the event, or if they realize that, then it's a success for Devon. Maybe that's what Devon was trying to do. Maybe that is the main reason why he isn't going to Baku right now, just to make some people realize that. And by the way, this was the super chat. Just to make people realize that, yeah, you guys need me, maybe more than I need you guys. And if that is Devon's mastermind, if that is his strategy, then I can understand that. But if I go there, then Engin is going to kill me, and that's a BS reason, I think. Oscar Johansson. Engin did call me a couple of times after this issue, and he was like, Pradeep, why would I want to kill him? What is going on? What is wrong with this guy? What is he saying? I don't even want to talk with the guy. Why would I kill him? Do you think you could be a good matchmaker? Yes, definitely. I'll have to do a lot of work then. As I said, if East versus West introduce me, they have this misconception that you need to be a super world champion level arm wrestler to be a matchmaker. That is not true. Your arm wrestling level, your capability on the table has nothing to do with your chances or with your abilities of doing good as a matchmaker. I think it basically depends on your knowledge, maybe not so much of technique. Of course you should know technique as well, because styles make matches, and that is some basic level stuff that you can figure out. It's not a big deal. Like, there are some guys that would beat, I think, some guys that can beat Kamil Jablonsky, but Kamil took a couple of rounds away from Vitali. If you had already put up Kamil against maybe Dadikian would have destroyed him, I think. Then you cannot say that if Dadikian destroyed Kamil, Vitali is ahead of Dadikian. That match doesn't make sense. So in some cases, the styles make matches, things come into play, but it is also overrated. That the term styles make matches, it is pretty much overrated, I would still say. But you need to be knowledgeable about that. That's the only technical knowledge that you need to have. If both guys are going strong in a hook and the third guy is also a hooker, and you can find common matches between these three, then you can easily have a match. I don't think it will be a big deal. So yes, I can be a good matchmaker, and I'll have to do a lot of work for that. Watch maybe last 4 or 5 years of WAF competition, literally all of them. It will take me like a month or so, prepare my notes. It will be a lot of work, but yes, I can do that. Gillis Plantin, thank you, sir, for the €5 super chat. Devon pulled Engin whole rage, Baku scammer guy, and Eastern rioters 2025. I don't know. I have nothing to do with this guy. And when I even messaged this Baku guy, Elmar, I didn't like the way in which he responded to me. Like, he was acting like he was some kind of big deal or something. I was just asking him a regular question. I didn't like his reply. And yet I'm defending him every single chance I can, because I don't like him getting unnecessary hate. He's just trying to save his own skin. He doesn't want people to believe that the event is not happening because of him. Because when Devon is saying Baku is not ready, Baku was not ready, Baku was not available, he's the one that is going to be called out online, especially by the guys who know him. So he's just trying to save his skin. Just leave the guy alone. I don't know why he's such a big target. But anyways, if the Baku scammer guy gives me €5 super chat, I'm up for it all day long. Yeah. Write the same thing again in another super chat. I don't care. Matt Rhodes is dude. King of the Table was best when he was the main person there. He was there up until King of the Table 9. So then Matt talked about Denis Cyplenkov, Alexei Vovoda. He said Engin just saw some money grab opportunities. That's why he gave them difficult matches. I agree with the Denis Cyplenkov match. I was saying, the regular viewers can confirm this in the chat if they want. I was saying right from the beginning, nope, Denis versus Devon should not happen. Devon is going to kill Denis. Denis is going to lose the motivation. This match should not happen. Denis should climb the ladder slowly. He should have had a match against Alex Kurdecha. There was that viral practice pull between Alex and Denis. Denis was destroying Kurdecha in that practice pull. So why didn't can somebody explain to me why we didn't see Denis versus Kurdecha right arm? Dennis was destroying Artyom Morozov on the right arm on the practice table. There was that secret practice table from Dubai as well, which I saw. Dennis was just holding Morozov like Morozov is a beginner or something, and Morozov was just hitting a wall. Why didn't these two matches happen before? You can say, well, Morozov is not Russian, by the way. His nationality is Kazakhstan. He's a Kazakh guy. So why didn't that match happen? And what's up with this thing that two guys who train together, they cannot have a match together? That is the most weird bullshit reason I've ever heard. I absolutely hate it just because these two guys are from the same country, and the same two country guys, I would say 80% of the times hate each other more than the guys from other country. Like if two Indian arm wrestlers, if they are rivals, let's say two 90 kg arm wrestlers are rivals, do you think they have more respect for each other than they would have for a 90 kg international guy? That is a big BS reason, in my opinion, that two countrymen cannot compete against each other unless they have gone through everyone else first, unless it is a title match. I don't like that at all. I don't know who came up with this. Kamil fell off a tall tree. Engin Turzi ligma of rage. Baku helped Engin hold the sport hostage, and now East versus West refuses to work with them. Now they are desperately trying to offer free venue to get East versus West back. That's an interesting comment. I want comments. I want conspiracy theories, or shouldn't say conspiracy theory, but people trying to think out of the box like that. What's the comment? Okay. Baku helped Engin hold the sport hostage, and now East versus West refusing. So is it because what they saying initially, we're not going to give you the venue if you push Engin Turzi out of the league? You don't have Baku event, the event is cancelled. That's what they try to do, or maybe that's what Engin tried to tell Robert Baxter and East versus West guys. And in that case, they did exactly that. But East versus West didn't bow down. Devon came up with a solution to have Shaw Classic as the standby event for that. Shaw Classic was confirmed, and then Baku event guys saw that, and then they fell apart. They said, our plan didn't work. We need to go back to plan A. Invite the guys back here again. Venue is confirmed. Free hotel, free Wi-Fi, free venue, everything. That's a good conspiracy theory. I like it. I can respect that comment. I'm not saying agree with it, but that is a very respectable comment. You get a star from me, sir. Marked comment. You won't see that, but I have given you a star here. Now they will make some money in Europe. Did Robert Devon paid you? Paid me for what? Paid me for what? I hope they did. Sometimes people so easily say that, oh, did he pay you? Did that guy pay you? Like, is it that, if for the guys who are writing these comments, is it that easy for you to say anything? Like, if someone pays you to say something, you're going to say that? Is that how you guys operate? I don't think so. Devon pulled his own whole body with his brainwashed fans out of Baku and destroyed East versus West to avoid Vitaly. I like that comment too. Devon does what he's supposed to do, find advantage, weak refs. The refs should always be blamed. And you know who else should be blamed more than the refs for this BS? The fans. You guys. You guys are responsible for the weak referees. All of you. 100%, maybe not 100%, 90% of you guys. Yes, if you are listening to me saying this, I'm talking about you. You are responsible for the weak refereeing in these events. You know why? Because all of you are going to complain if a big match ends on fouls. And that's what the organizers don't want. It's not like these referees cannot be strict on Devon. But if they are strict on Devon, or as Luke was saying, if he was strict on Hermes Gasparini in that match, Hermes wouldn't even have seen a ready go. He would have been fouled out. Guess who will be complaining then? All of the guys watching this. Out of the 200 watching this, 180 of you will be complaining if Devon gets fouled out, if Hermes gets fouled out, if all four of the rounds end in a foul. Most of you will be complaining. For that reason, the owners, Engin Turzi and the other owners, they tell the referees to not be as strict. They tell the referees you have to start the match no matter what. You cannot end the match on fouls no matter what. And guess what? Guys like Hermes, guys like Devon, and a lot of other guys, they are listening to these conversations. They know that these conversations are happening. And that's why they take advantage of that. If Devon knows that this guy, no matter what I do before the go, he cannot foul me out. I am the biggest pay-per-view money match. If 35,000 guys are buying this pay-per-view, 20,000 out of all of those are because of me, purely because of me. So they cannot afford to make the fans unhappy. Even the fans who want to see me lose, they maybe they also wouldn't want to see me lose on fouls if they believe that the opponent is strong enough to beat me. So that's the case. Because of all of us will be complaining if the referees are strict, that's why the referees cannot be strict. So we are responsible for that. Not Devon, not even Engin, just we. Purely, we should take the responsibility for the weak referees. Pradeep, why isn't anyone talking about how there has been no podcast with Devon and Vitaly to figure things out? Is it because Engin, the guy who did everything better, is not in the league anymore? I'm not sure. I asked Hermes Gasparini for a podcast. He said next week I'll do it. It's already next week, but I should have asked him again. I forgot. And then I asked Kalinishenko. He also said next week. What's going on? Are these... They are definitely doing something. They're cooking something up. I asked three... I think one other guy... I forgot who I asked for an interview. All three of them said next week. Like around the same time. What were they cooking? I think it has already been a week since then, so I didn't really see anything new. But why would they say next week? Pradeep won't say this, his true opinion, because if he does, he would lose views from all the Devon fans. Come on, man. I have been called a Devon hater way more than a Devon fanboy. I can tell you that. 70% of the times I get called a Devon hater, and 30% of the times I get called a Devon fanboy. So you can figure out what it is. I'm not sure if Robert can manage East versus West well. He could not even convince Devon to go to Baku, and now we get all insignificant matches in the Shaw Classic. To be honest, Engin has spoiled us with great matches. Like nobody was even close to putting up such amazing cards as Engin Turzi. Like imagine if these East versus West events didn't happen. The quality of the card is okay. It's not bad. It's not bad. We already have the Devon versus Kordecha left arm match, which we know is going to be a close one. So we know Devon is going to compete. We know it's going to be a close match. Brian Shaw competing. Eddie Hall was pretty entertaining the first time around. I don't think it's a terrible card. Yes, the level of arm wrestling is not that high. But then the second best arm wrestler in the world, Gabriela, is competing. And some other good matches too. So I would rate the card maybe like a 6 out of 10. It's not terrible. 6 out of 10 is okay. 5. Did we get another super chat? No, that's a starred comment. Need to remove that star now. What do you think about Vitaly 100 kg biceps curl? Bro, I've already discussed this. I've already made a video about that. Watch all of the videos, Gaurav. Come on, man. Live streams are for hardcore arm wrestling fans. I would think so, at least. Like the casuals won't be sitting around watching a live stream. So if you're watching a live stream, then you're not a casual. How did you miss the regular video? Alijan will compete again. Where has Alijan been? Like, is he not getting $50,000 or what? By the way, I did some cupping. I don't know what that handle is called, that you roll and wrap and then you do your cupping. What's that handle called? Man, my wrist is so weak. I can barely do, like I couldn't even do 10 sets of 10 repetitions, both arms. I had to switch to this grip. From a thumbless grip, I started doing with a thumbless grip, and then I had to switch to this regular grip. Wrist max? Is it wrist max? Yeah, whatever it is. My wrist is so weak, man, so weak. Fingers are strong. Now, not like really strong, but maybe twice as strong as the wrist. So I can see like when the guys are top rolling me, I still have like full 100% coverage of the back of their hand because of my grip strength, and my wrist is flopped like that. So when I get top rolled, some people get top rolled like this. I get my hand is like this. I get top rolled like this. This stays like this, and the wrist just goes away. Big huge difference in the wrist and fingers. Neil is not a good matchmaker, but you are, Pradeep. What a joke. When did I say that? When did I say that? Just that is one of the biggest misinterpretations of what I have ever said. You will get better, Pradeep. I said I'm not, I can be. I need to literally sit and analyze arm wrestling matches, old arm wrestling matches for years. And guess what? Neil Pickup also needs to do the same. If we just talk about the popular arm wrestlers, then everyone can be a good matchmaker. All of us can do that. But it's about the unknown guys from Europe, from USA, whom we have not really seen compete. To have matches for them, we need to analyze days of arm wrestling matches. That's what I said. And that is something what I don't think Neil Pickup will be willing to do. I don't think Neil Pickup watches all of the WAF European tournaments. And you must do that if you want to be a good matchmaker. And you must have communication, some sort of direct communication with those arm wrestlers to ask them if they're training, if they're injured, if their right is strong, if their left is strong. I don't think Neil has that communication. Cupping is one word, high hooking are 2 words. How much kg Devon pronation lift? 40 kilos if it is not strict. Maybe 37, 38 if it is like wrist is maybe slightly bent back. Maybe 37, 38 kilos like that. If the wrist is like that, maybe 40 kilos. That's how much I can do. And 40, I think with the like strictly parallel forearm will be difficult. It will be like something like this. Not like this, like this. But I think it doesn't really make a difference that much. It's not like having your forearm like really parallel to the floor is going to carry over more to the arm wrestling table. I don't think it's at a 90-degree angle I don't think you want it to be at a 90-degree angle when you're arm wrestling. You want it to be closer. This is not a 90-degree angle. Like this is. I'm Italian too, and Hermes has been an embarrassing crybaby. I liked Hermes Gasparini's attitude on the Coach Ray podcast though, when Ray was saying that no, I'm not going to read these super chats. They're just trying to bash you, Hermes. And Hermes was like, no, read them. then although he didn't really have a good response, he was just like, these are just Devon fangirls. But still, I like that attitude. It's still great, Pradeep. Keep on blasting. Stefan, thank you, brother. I've watched every of your videos and I've watched that Vitali video too, but I just wanted to know your live opinion. Yeah, 100 kg curl for a guy that tall, I think it's impressive. I think he could have done more. And I think Vitali is one guy who can literally get benefited even if he does bicep curls. Like, you look at Vitali and you can still see that despite his immense side pressure, he can still increase his arm power. He can still do that. Old Moldy Scrotty. Thank you, brother, for another super chat. Any predictions for the Shaw Classic matches? Oberst, I heard, has been involved with arm wrestling, but Hall, coached by Neil, seems very effective. It depends on who the stronger guy is. Because Robert Oberst, you can just type his name, arm wrestling, and you'll see his videos, arm wrestling from like 5-6 years. And he has not, I cannot say he has been consistent, but he has maybe like 20 times more experience than Eddie Hall. So it just comes to who's the stronger guy. In the straps, we have seen that Eddie is pretty effective. So I'm not really seen Robert compete too much, but I wouldn't be shocked if he can beat Eddie. I wouldn't be shocked. But to me, it still can be a close match. Eddie seemed very effective on the arm wrestling table. And he could have won one more round against Shaw. There was one round where he could have slipped. He was trying to prevent Brian Shaw from slipping. And then he ended up losing that round. So it was a little bit weird. So Eddie is good. He is good for how much he has trained. Close match. And prediction for Shaw Classic matches. That's a good one. Let me take out the card. I talked with the Gold's Arm owner, Gold's Arm website owner as well on a video call for maybe 1 hour, and he has some good plans. I gave him some suggestions, a couple of suggestions. He was saying, yeah, that's a very interesting suggestion. I think we are going to implement that. And I was like, bro, that's why you have called me. If I didn't have good suggestions for you, why would you be bothered calling me on my time, waiting for hours when I tell you I'm free? Of course, I have good suggestions. Everyone should ask me for suggestions. It's free. It's literally free. And probably better advice than 90% of experienced arm wrestlers. Yes, that's why I have paid for this stream. Like now you can peacefully screen share in 1080p also without much trouble. Hopefully. Don't speak too soon, Pradeep. Entire screen. Also share system audio. Yep, let's share the screen. So, Gabriela Vasconcelos versus Jocelyn Brisson. I would say Jocelyn is unlucky. She's been thrown to these wolves. But what's her alternative? She defeated Sarah Backman, who was like number 4th in the world at that time. Then she faced number 3. She lost. Now she's going back up. She's going to the number 2 in the world, Gabriela Vasconcelos. Gabby, you might think that like Gabby would hook her, but I think Gabby is also going to top roll Jocelyn Brisson, and there is nothing that this strong Canadian woman is going to be able to do about that. So she's in a weird spot at this time. Like number 2, I still do not think that Agle Vetkute was that far ahead. Like the hand strength was evident, there was a gap, but still Jocelyn could have made it interesting. Like within a year or so, I would say she needs just 1 year solid training, mostly working on her hand to make it interesting and take some rounds or maybe even beat Agle Vetkute. 1 year is all she needs. I think she can get the job done. But Gabby is on another level, man. I think it's going to be 3-0. Cire Brown versus Derek Smith. Bro, Derek, if you don't win this match, just retire, man. Just retire. At this point, just retire. Derek I saw the Martin Slicis video and he was like, when I started arm wrestling, I used to suck. Bro, you still suck. Come on. And now you might be saying, well, Pradeep, what kind of BS are you talking? I know I'm talking BS, but it's fun time. Why not? Because Derek, yes, although he may be like, I don't know what his current position is. He may be like number 7, number 8, number 9 in North America, which is huge. Huge. In such a talented, deeply talented arm wrestling country, if you're top 10, then you are the real deal. But still, it feels good to say that Derek Smith sucks, man. The guy is the weakest pound-for-pound arm wrestler ever to step foot in the East vs. West arena, even though he defeated Mehdi Abdulwand, who I think was heavier than him. But still, I'm not going to take that crown away from Derek of being the weakest pound-for-pound. Maybe Cire Brown is even heavier than Derek. Maybe Derek can pass on his crown to Cire Brown if he beats him. But if this guy beats this guy, then this guy should retire. Matt Mask versus Philip Larson. Matt versus Philip. I would love to see this match. They have practiced together. I think it was close. By the way, I'm picking Derek Smith to win this match. I forgot my prediction. Man, Matt is looking good now. He's looking good. But Philip has defeated Brad Grundy. And Brad Grundy has defeated Matt Mask. So what does that tell us? What does that tell us? But Philip Larson also lost to Terence Opperman recently. And Terence is not as good as Matt, but he has a flop press which he used to defeat Philip. Matt does not have that flop press. It's going to be a close one, man. I'm going to go with Philip Larson in this match. Devon Ladd versus Kurdecha, left arm super match. Man, you have to go with Devon. You have to go with Devon, especially after watching the last match. Neil was saying that Devon was feeding rope to Kurdecha. No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. Come on, Neil. Where do I end this screen share from? Has this screen share ended? Can somebody confirm? Pradeep, prepare for JEE. So we'll have to go with Devon here. Richard Borman versus Pavlo Darbedyev. Man, Richard is the man, but Pavlo is also the man, and he's the... Yep. Pradeep, what do you think about Devon is a good actor comments? Man, there are not many comments on the internet that can literally piss me off. Like, very rarely. But the comments when Devon is about to shit himself, when screen share didn't work? Come on, man. Don't lie. You're lying, brother. Huh? No, you're not lying. Screen share. Okay, I missed it then. Okay. Okay, I need to add this to stage. Man, what kind of bullshit did I did? Okay, let's go back. Gabriela Vasconcelos versus Jocelyn Brisson. Gabriela needs to win. She has to win. There's nothing that Jocelyn can do about that. So this guy, when I was saying this guy needs to beat this guy, this guy's Derek Smith. He needs to beat him. Otherwise, it's over, man. It's over. Rest in peace, Derek Smith's arm wrestling career if he loses this match. Philip Larson should be able to beat Matt, even though Matt is in the best shape of his life, best form of his life. Devon should be able to somehow grind it out again against Alex Kurdecha. It is going to be a close match, no doubt. Because this time Alex may not even focus that much in trying to keep his wrist. He's going to just go to flop presses straight away. Maybe that is going to work. Richard Borman versus Pavlo Darbedyev. Pavlo is the man. I don't think Richard can take a round from him. Brandon Allen versus Brian Shaw. Brian Shaw has the perfect style to beat, not perfect style, but the perfect size and attributes to beat a King's mover. Like, he must analyze how Rob Vision Jr. did it. Rob didn't even let him slip. There was another match that Brandon Allen lost to a relatively unknown guy, unknown at international level. I forgot his name, what his name was. And Brandon couldn't even slip in that match. Maybe he lost some rounds, maybe lost the entire match, I forgot. He couldn't even slip. Who has one of the strongest grips in the world? It is Brian Shaw. So Brian needs to keep the match. Brian needs to forget everything that Devon told him, and he needs to try to prevent Brandon from slipping as if his life depends on it, because the match depends on it. He needs to keep the match outside of straps, and I think he may be strong enough to do that. He may be. Brandon Allen has been pinned multiple times by multiple guys without the straps, so there's a possibility that Brian can do that. So without the straps, I'm favoring Brian Shaw. In the straps, I'm favoring Brandon Allen. So not sure how that is going to work out. Brian should be at least as strong as Larry Wheels by now. He has been arm wrestling for like 10 months now. So I'm not sure how to predict this match just yet. Todd Hutchings, Dave Chaffee. I mean, Chaffee, man. You have to go with Chaffee. Especially after seeing Irakli's flop press work against Todzilla in one round. Chaffee has a better, stronger flop. So I think even if Chaffee gets messed up somewhere, he'll switch to the flop and get the job done. Devon versus Kurdecha right arm. I don't even know why this match is happening. They should have kept it for some other event. Engin Phoenix's Emir Turzi. Pradeep Wood. You believe me if I fought Kamil in the comment section because he said he beats Devon right arm. Yeah, I would believe you. But believe you in what? So on Coach Ray's channel, I just said, I'll maybe not exact quotes, but 99%, 95% of the words are same. I said that Kamil interview on Aussie's channel was one of the worst interviews in the history of arm wrestling. Kamil did not have any valid point to answer Aussie's questions. And if Aussie arm wrestler can make you look stupid on a live show, then you got to rethink your life choices. That was a terrible interview. This is what I said. And a few days later, I see, and I didn't even say that on my channel. I said it on Coach Ray's channel. Few days later, I see Kamil has blocked me. Bro, show our messages. Kamil, if you're watching this, show our messages to the fans. I don't message you. If we have had 10 conversations together, maybe 8 or 9 times you are the one who messaged me. So I don't get this point. Why would you block a guy that isn't messaging you anyways? Where's the logic? It's not like I was bothering you with some messages so that you blocked me. No, you were the one who were messaging me again and again about some things that the fans were saying you disagreed with, and you asked my opinion on a bunch of things. So what happened when I first time ever, like when have you ever seen me comment anything against Kamil ever? I have been one of his biggest supporters right from the beginning. One thing I say against him, that he looked stupid on that Aussie Arm Wrestler podcast, and he blocked me. Come on, man. I was not messaging, and the same thing Engin did anyways. I was not messaging Engin. If we had some regular conversations, 8 out of 10 times Engin was the one who was messaging me. Why would you block someone that with whom you initiate the conversation? The simple method is to just not message them, and they're not going to message you anyways. So why block? Yes, then he goes and blames other, always playing both sides of the fence. Kamil fought a 16-year-old in the comments for a right arm win against Devon. Should I sue him? No. Kamil learned from Enigma. Kamil is scary in that sense that he has those big muscles coupled with a small brain. Kamil acts like a child on Instagram. Sad to see from a grown-up man. How am I trolling? How am I trolling Kamil? Can somebody explain this to me? Why do you stop at the middle of Devon is a good actor comments? Yeah, I was saying something. What was I saying? Devon is a good actor. Yeah, good catch. So I am, great point, man, because it was such an important point. I can maybe count on my fingers the comments that have literally pissed me off. And all of the times they've never been about myself. For some reason, you can say all sorts of shit about me, and it literally, like, not even 1%. When I hear like big YouTubers with millions of followers, they say that, man, it's so depressing. Sometime after one video, the community, the chat went against them, and people started trolling them, and they were thinking about committing suicide. They were on depression pills. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm always like, why haven't I read any comment that can bother me even like 1%? It's like literally impossible. I know everyone says that, but I've not yet found a comment that can bother me about me. But there have been some comments about others that literally pissed me off, and at the top of that was a comment under a grip video. So someone has edited, maybe you have seen that video has like millions and millions, so maybe 10, 15, 20 million views. I don't know how many views it has, and thousands of comments. Devon almost about shitting himself trying to squeeze a gripper. I think it was a Captains of Crush 2.5, and he couldn't. You can see, anyone who has tried to squeeze the grippers, you can see that, you can easily tell that, yeah, the guy is going all out. He cannot. Devon cannot. Let's be honest. Maybe like 15 years ago he could have, 10 years ago he could have. Now he cannot. But that video was also like 4 or 5 years ago, maybe with Juji Mufu or someone else, Magnus, I don't know. So he couldn't close a COC 2.5, and most of the comments was like, good actor. Devon is such a good actor. A comment was like, he's not even giving his 5%. I mean, come on, man. It's like those same guys would comment under Devon's videos that Devon was not even going 50% against Alex Kurdecha. He was just trying to make the match look close. I've seen those kind of comments, and these comments, I don't know, they shouldn't bother me, but they piss me off so much that 50% of the comments under that video were, yeah, Devon is a good actor. Devon is not even trying. The guy is like 1% strength away from shitting himself in the pants, and you're saying that he's just acting. You can't act on a gripper for real. I've also lost my sanity doing, and it's pretty obvious. Yeah. Yes, I have seen that. Eastern European are so emotional, they get angry, and I would say that, and this is a claim that I don't think anyone has ever made, and it's a very smart one. At least half of you will agree with me. if Devon has, let's say, in this world 3 million fans, and let's say he has 300,000 haters, that's a fair number. I think both of them are about correct. Out of those 300,000 haters, 200,000 have become Devon's haters because of those idiotic fans. Not all of them, obviously, but a percentage of that make comments like Devon is trolling. He's not even up going 1% and and stuff like that. I would say Devon's fans are responsible for the number of Devon's haters being so high, more than Devon himself. His fans are responsible for people hating him because they act in such a dumb way. Devon has one of the highest, obviously, he has the highest fan base, so he'll have the highest number of dumb fanboys as well. But even considering a percentage, like if you have 95% fans, how many percentage of them are like totally out of their mind, completely dumb, retarded? Other guys, other celebrities may have like 1%, but Devon's number will be like 5%. And that's why Devon is hated by even other arm wrestlers because of their fans, because of his fans. Devon is acting. Yeah. I swear, I'm not even lying. I even read some comments like Devon was just playing with Levan in round one. If he could have finished if he didn't play with Levan, if he didn't try to make him tired, he would have won the entire match. He could have easily won the first round. Bro, Levan broke his back. Come on, man. And these are the fans that turn some neutral fans into Devon haters when these Devon fanboys attack those guys if they even slightly criticize Devon. That's just what being an icon looks like. I have an issue. So that's the comment that just somebody find that Devon Larratt gripper video, millions of views. Read the comment. You'll lose a lot of brain cells. You'll be pissed off after reading the comments under that video. Pradeep, I can beat you in arm wrestling. I have some PR, same PR as yours, even more only at my first day of arm wrestling. That's good, Mohit. That's good. What's your height and weight? Neil Pickpocket. The card has been announced. IG, if you look at. So the whole card, that's it. I was not sure if they maybe have more matches or not. Good point, Pradeep. I agree. What about Baku? So somehow God has been so kind to me recently. Maybe not God, then some magical power in the universe. Have you noticed that I haven't really had any Wi-Fi or network issues since like maybe last 10 live streams, 20 live streams, whatever it is. And I was the one, if I can get one live stream perfect without any issues, it's game on, man. I was a happy guy. And so if I was frustrated then I should be thankful now, because I think the streams have all been almost as good as I would like them to be. Some of the fans always have a whole paragraph ready to prove he's the strongest ever. So the question was, what about Baku? Yeah, Baku is still not confirmed, man. It is still not confirmed that Baku is not confirmed. This is what I was trying to say. And it's weird. So behind the scenes, I've not discussed that with them, but I think behind the scenes, Robert Baxter is still trying to convince Devon to go to Baku, and Devon is not agreeing. So unless Devon agrees to go there will be no event in Baku. That's the unfortunate reality, because there is no other big arm wrestler. If they already had Hermes Gasparini, the thing is that they can still have the Baku event if Hermes decides to arm wrestle Vitali. But I think they talked with Hermes and he's not ready because he recently competed. That's the solution. Talk with Hermes, tell him that we're going to pay you whatever you got last time when you arm wrestled Vitali. We're going to pay you 10,000 more. Show up. Then maybe Hermes shows up, or maybe he still doesn't, and then the Baku event can still happen because they will be able to sell some pay-per-views. Why didn't you often activate? Yeah, I like spending a lot of time on Instagram, but For some reason, I don't like posting anything there. What should I do? Give me some suggestions. Maybe after this video ends, give me some suggestion in the प्रदीप भाई के कारण लग रहे हो के कारण लग रहे हो अच्छा भाई लाइव और क्या करूँ Pradeep, Phil Woody and I were talking about the Arm Wars event premiering this weekend. No card showing on YouTube. Neil, I don't even want to talk about it now. 67 510, bro. You're not going to beat me. Come on, man. You're not going to beat me. For a 67 kilo guy, you will have to be like literally easily maybe like left-handed if I'm talking about. Top 30 in the country at that weight, 65, top 30. Only then you can maybe beat me. 65 kg guy. Right, you can be like top 3000 and still be able to beat me. Top 3000 in 65 kg category. Looking handsome today, thank you, sir. So what should I upload on Instagram? What can I upload on Instagram? And how do I monetize that? Devon's so popular because good or bad, everybody is always talking about him. Yes, right. Why the hell would anyone want to go to a crappy country like that? Russia is literally threatening them. The promoter is also super odd. Never once has another location promoter tried to manipulate. Justy Karis, is that how you pronounce it? $5 super chat. Thank you, sir. You guys have already made me rich. I spent how much money on this today? Yeah, month's revenue is already recovered from the super chats today. It was 1500 rupees and I've already got the same amount of money in super chats for this membership of StreamYard app. 1080p, baby. That's the standard from now on. Pradeep, I will get lots of hate, but I don't care. That's the right attitude to have right there. I've been operating on this attitude from the beginning. And the thing is, when you see, now I don't see hate for me on my own channel. Very rarely. Like out of 100 comments, 97 will be positive or neutral. 3 will be hateful towards me. So the thing is, when people are smart, even the haters are smart, when they see they cannot get under your skin, they don't post hateful stuff. So I don't get. And when I go to some other channel, if I even comment under Coach Ray's video about something, oh, Coach Ray, get me on, I want to join the show. And then in the reply, I'll see like back to back, like 7 hateful comments. I'm sure they are not posting those comments to hurt my feelings. They already know they cannot do that. They're posting that just to let Coach Ray know that they hate me. So that now maybe that guy has a slightly negative opinion about me. So that was a little philosophy lesson that I taught myself then and there, that yeah, when people know that hateful comments cannot bother you, they stop posting that. That's why Engin gets so many hateful comments, because people know that he's going to actively like stay awake until 4 a.m. in the morning. And I'll read your super chat soon. Just need to get some things out. People know that he's going to read those comments until 5, 6 a.m. in the morning until he has blocked and banned everyone. That's why people do that. If it's not like just ignoring. People say ignore the hate. No, if you ignore the hate, actually there is no hate then. They don't post hateful comments on your page. Everywhere else, they'll still be doing that, but they won't be doing that on your page. So that's my lesson that guys like Emir Turzi can learn. So Pradeep, I'll get lots. Why is it not showing up completely? Yeah, but I don't care. Why have you taken Devon's side on this argument? Is it genuinely, or you do it just for your channel? No, in fact, I'm the only YouTuber who has tried to find some flaws in both sides, in the arguments presented by both sides. And I can literally show you comments. Coach Ray was laughing while reading the comments. It's like, one comment is saying that Pradeep is a Devon fanboy, and the other was saying that Pradeep is just trying to praise Engin Turzi. So I've been both sides. Usually, ideally, you would think that, okay, you're supporting this guy in one video, whatever he's saying, and trying to find some points that can be critiqued about the other guy. And the next video, you're trying to have a different perspective. You're supporting that guy and trying to find something's wrong about what this guy has mentioned. So you would think that both are going to appreciate, but the truth is none of those guys appreciate that. Devon didn't care when I made 6 videos supporting him, but when I made 2 videos supporting Engin afterwards, he immediately messaged me. He's like, buddy, get your point straight, you were wrong in the video. I was like, bro, if I was right in the last 6 videos, because since you didn't mention there, you could have said some things about those 6 videos as well. If I'm wrong about one video, why are you just focus that much on the on that one video that you have to send me a 2-minute message, audio message? So no, I don't think I've taken Devon's side on this. I just know that it is difficult to work with Emir Turzi. That's the reason why I have said that the league can run with Engin Turzi in 100% control. The league can also run with Engin Turzi in 0% control. But the league cannot run with where Engin is somewhere like in the middle ground. It just cannot work like that. Engin is not the guy that you can work with under those conditions. I know that. And Engin knows that. He'll also agree with that. So that's why I never had any problem when Engin Turzi was 100% control. I didn't want him to sell the league. He wanted to sell the league. He did that. So no, brother, just he cares. I've not taken Devon's side on this one. In fact, even in the last video, I got many hateful comments. Not last 2-3 videos back when I was saying that, why Devon, why are you not going to Baku? You need to give explanation. Even in this live stream, I was saying that, why do you fans feel like so powerless that you cannot ask Devon, that you don't think that Devon owes you an explanation? I am the only one saying even now that Devon needs to come up and he needs to explain to the fans why isn't he going there, because the 2 reasons that he gave, they're not valid anymore. So I'm not sure where you're getting this point from, but I disagree that I have taken Devon's side, and I would say I have not even taken Engin's side. I love Devon, man, but again, you're the same guy. Justy Caris, I don't know how to pronounce it. $20 this time. I'm the richest man in the world today. Richest man in the city, man. Come on. I love Devon, man. I was like, I'm going to be honest with you. Obviously, it's like not a difficult thing to do. The engagement, the direct engagement with the fans, it's awesome. But I want it to be live. I want it to be live more. And that's why that's the only reason I posted. I posted today like 1 super chat goal. I have a super chat goal of 1 super chat that is like, I think it was $2 or up, something like that. 100 rupees. So in my currency, it's less than $2. But in USA, it may show up as like $5. And I was like, till the day I keep getting that blue super chat that goes anywhere from like $2 to $5 or something like that. Even if I get a $2 super chat every day, I'll be going live every day. And I've got like so many super chats today. Unbelievable. Vitaly now has a 10-year visa. Why isn't he going to Shaw Classic? Who told you? Who told you Vitaly has a 10-year visa? That's a big information. I would need to make a video about that if that is out recently. Pradeep bhai, if Engin was controlling the league and it's wrong, now Devon is controlling Robert as events now happening. That's why I said, I don't know, man, how you can be convinced about a project that you're so passionate about. How can you convince? And trying to change the rules it's not a big deal, man. I got a rule changed in Pro Panja League. So I'll tell you. So obviously the owner of Pro Panja League, he has become so knowledgeable about the sport in last 5 years. Like he's following everything. Even if like maybe 1,000 arm wrestler in the world, he's not well known. Even if he says something and I talk about it, the guy has already watched it. Don't know how he does that. He has a bunch of businesses to run, and he acts in movies too. So, but he's like all day long. I message him and he replies in like 5 seconds. So, don't know how he's doing that. But there was a rule in Pro Panja League Season 1 that you can have a challenger round. Usually 1 pin is only worth 1 point, but if you take a challenger round, it is worth 5 points, right? And it was a team score in the end. Season 1. Season 2 is also going to be like that. Before the season started, as soon as I got to know about that, I immediately told Parveen Dabas, who is the owner of the league, I'm like, sir, this is not going to work. If I've pinned someone a couple of times already, I know I can pin him within 10 seconds. The condition for challenger round was 10 seconds, and 90% of the matches end before 10 seconds anyways. So what's the point? If I pinned you a couple of times, I know I will pin you within 10 seconds in the 10th round too. Nothing magical is going to happen. So you need to change it. You need to have it only for the first round and maybe less than 10 seconds, maybe 5 seconds, 7 seconds. And he did agree with that even back then, but he didn't change the rule. And then what happened? None, not even one of the challenger round was unsuccessful. So where's the suspense? Unsuccessful challenger round means that your opponent now gets 5 points instead of you getting those 5 points, and it's a big deal. When every pin is worth 1 point, this pin is worth 5 points in a team game. It can literally win you the entire league. So not even one challenger round was unsuccessful. So the suspense is gone. The players know that the challenger round is going to be successful. The referees know, the fans know, everyone knows. So this time they did it. This time they changed the rule. I talked with him on the phone this time as well about this topic for like 15-20 minutes. And this time they've changed it to challenger round can be taken only in the first round, and that too only for 7 seconds. And the rule is awesome now. Now that's the confidence. You're willing to risk 5 points, giving 5 points to your opponent if you feel strong enough, and that's only for the first round. So you should know that you are stronger than that guy. So he has changed the rule. Guess what I did here? I manipulated the rules. I changed the rules. And I'm not even an arm wrestler. And I've talked, and I've had already like 3, 4, 5 arm wrestlers message me about this. They're like, thank you, bro. We know you're behind this, and that's a great rule change. We agree with this. So I told the owner that you go and ask every single arm wrestler about this, and 90%, at least 90% of them are going to agree with this, maybe even more. And that's exactly what happened. So anyone suggesting rule changes, it's not a big deal. So he has had issues. I love Devon, man, but he has had issues with everyone. John, Dave, Jerry, Hermes, Dennis. He has been accused of cheating on the setup countless times. So why is it so hard to believe that now Engin is the one accusing him? Once again, I am not disagreeing with you, brother, what you just said. But we have already discussed this point, and the problem is the fans. We fans are responsible for that, because if Engin tells the referees to be strict, they can easily stop Devon from doing anything in the setup. They can stop him. But if they stop him, if the biggest match of the month or quarter or maybe the year, if the biggest match ends on fouls, Devon lost 3-0 on fouls, guess who's going to be mad? The arm wrestling community who paid for that match. And guess who's going to make sure that it never happens again? Emir Turzi. And guess who will get that instruction? The referees. And guess who will Devon manipulate then? The referees. So ultimately, who's responsible? The fans. If the fans man up and say, at least 50% of them, okay, we don't care if Devon is moving before the go, or if anyone is moving before the go, if they are trying to cheat, we don't care if we don't get our money's worth. We just want the rightful person to win. Foul them out. Let the matches end on fouls. And it will take that. It will take that one sacrifice. You cannot out of nowhere tell the referees to be strict. They cannot do that. They are incapable of doing that, because they'll get a lot of heat. Imagine if Risto Delijakov ends Devon's match on foul. He's going to get 1,000 DMs from people the next day around. How is he going to deal with that? So that's the problem. So unless we fans can say that, yeah, we're manning up, we don't care if we lose our money, we don't care if we don't get the entertainment. If you think that Devon is not behaving, if you think Hermes or Vitali or Michael Todd is not behaving, whoever it is, foul them out. We don't care. The day the fans start saying that, the next day you'll see the referees being strict. That's the problem. Without that, you cannot really blame. Is Devon using that kind of unfairly to his advantage? Maybe he is. But why wouldn't he? That's the question. Thank you again for making me super rich, brother. 3rd super chat of the night. Just cares for $5 this time. You did not read my $20 super chat. Now I read it. I'm glad I didn't read it in time, so I got $5 more from you. It's just money making strategy. You're witnessing a businessman here. Old moldy scroty. I need to go. Thank you, sir, again for your super chat. Awesome stream as always, brother. Have a great weekend. Thank you, sir. I'm feeling like I show speed, man, after getting all of those super chats. I'm the new stream king today. I know I've seen many other arm wrestling YouTubers too. They get a lot of super chats, but it wasn't that like that for me. For on my regular streams, I can go. It may be because I don't ask for super chats, and I've heard some guys literally say that I'm only going to read super chats if I have a guest or something like that. I can never say that, so I can go with. There was time where I'll go like 6 live streams non-stop, not even a single super chat. But today I'm feeling like I show speed, the stream king. Still over 150 people watching. And how easy is it for a full-time YouTuber to just sit like that on his chair and comment about arm wrestling all day long as you keep on getting like 2 3 even if 2 3 4, even for me it's like, even if I'm getting like 3 super chats, not 3 super chats, $3-4 per hour, $5 per hour, that is for me like more than what I would earn at my job. $5 per hour. I don't think I've never done the calculation, but do I make that much money on my job? $5. Okay, let's see, 70,000 divided by 30, and if it is 8 hours per day, it's like 291 divided by 85, $3.50. Yeah, that's how much I make per hour from my job. I make more than that on YouTube, surely. So for a guy like me, I can sit on YouTube for like 10 hours every day. But then the advantage that these big streamers, that the guys that became famous because of online streaming, the advantage that they have is that they can talk about anything. Like they can literally talk about any topic in this world. And that's why they have a big audience as well. Arm wrestling audience is only going to watch arm wrestling. That's the thing. So maybe later on I can also do like 90-minute live streams every day, and 60 minutes will be arm wrestling specific, and the last 30 minutes we can probably discuss any kind of BS that we want. It would be tolerated by the fans because they have decided, tolerated by the viewers, they've decided that they're going to stay for that long. Pradeep, did you agree that more than 50% arm wrestling depends on Devon's popularity? Not 50%. Like I literally said that maybe out of 35,000 pay-per-view sales, Devon is responsible for 20,000. That is more than 50%. But still a popularity, no. Because people do find their heroes. That's the thing. If Devon wasn't there, I think there will be a new hero. I think there will be someone who's maybe not as popular, but clearly more popular than what he is already right now. How 150k people can watch such an idiot like Speed. World is going crazy. He's just playing a character. That's why I think people say that guy used to irritate me a lot too. And now I've started to become a fan, mostly because of his sprinting abilities. The guy can like literally break 11 seconds in 100 meter any day he wants. He can run like, I think 10.7, maybe. That's why. And I'm a big sprinting fan. Like I can talk about sprint for like hours if you want, almost as much as arm wrestling. So maybe that's why I've started to like him. But he's like always in the character. And talking about characters, this one thing, one day I'll talk about this subject in detail in a video, maybe in some other live stream as well, because these topics should be repeated so that more viewers talk about that. The idea of a nickname is such a flawed concept in the world of arm wrestling. And another time I'll blame Neil Pickup for that. He's the one who's like giving these guys nicknames. So he thinks like, yep, that's what it is. That's how nicknames work. No, nicknames never work in sports. The only way a nickname can work is when it is so good that people don't know your real name. How many people know I Show Speed's real name? Tell me. How many people know Undertaker's real name? So nickname is not even the right word. It's a stage name. The day arm wrestlers start to have their own stage names, not nicknames. So Artyom Terminator Morozov is bullshit. That word Terminator is I was just saying that we have had so many live streams perfectly, but somehow like an error occurred on this stream. And I saw a couple of super chats. I am going to read them as well. Of course, I will. So the concept of nicknames is such a flawed concept, like Artyom Terminator Morozov. My point is, tell me if you agree with me, just with a yes or no. Tell me, let me ask the question, just with a yes or no. Let me know your agreement or disagreement with my point. If you have to take a person's real name with his nickname, then it's not a nickname. Come on, man. Even in the household, people have like a couple of names, an official name and the other name that our parents used to call us with. I don't have that nickname, but many people do. I've seen that. The guys in your village, sometimes they don't know your real name. That's a real nickname. That's a stage name, I would call it, in terms of arm wrestling, right? If you have to say Devon No Limits Larrett, then No Limits is bullshit. Nobody in the world is saying, wow, we're inviting No Limits to our event. Wow, No Limits won the match. Nobody's saying that. It's a fake ass nickname. That's not a good thing. Nicknames don't work. Nicknames suck. We have already established that. Stage names work. And nobody, not even one person in arm wrestling has a stage name. And there is such a simple and yet huge concept to know if your stage name is working or not. And that is if people don't know your real name. That's when you know you succeeded. How many people know Triple H? Triple H's real name. I mean, come on. Conor McGregor, they call him the Notorious. But nobody calls him a Notorious. They say Notorious Conor McGregor. So Notorious is bullshit. Notorious is nothing. Nicknames only work if people don't know your real name. End of. No conversation after that. Give me one popular nickname where people still... Schoolboy. Yeah. Think about it. If Schoolboy has 2 million, 3 million fans in this world, 2 million fans in this world, how many know Alexander Beziaskov? 200,000? I don't think so. Maybe 20,000 people know his real name. Out of 2 million. Schoolboy works. Why did Schoolboy work? Arm Wrestling Whisperer. How many people? Etienne. Even I don't know his real name. How many people know their real names? That's a simple. I don't know how people have not got this point yet. But if the fans know your real name, then your nickname is not working. Change it. And when you've already become popular, that's not the time to have a nickname. I heard someone say, it was a American arm wrestling podcast, I forgot the name. They were saying like, maybe Ryan SP was saying it, or Canadian or someone else. They're like, what's wrong? So he was asked that what's wrong with arm wrestling is like, new arm wrestlers that have never competed in a tournament, they have a nickname. That's cringy. No, you are cringy. That's the perfect time to have a nickname. That's when nobody knows you. That is the only time when a nickname can work, when nobody knows you, when you haven't won anything. Have that nickname or stage name and then build around it. You cannot give Devon a new nickname now and expect the fans to forget his real name or to just start calling him with that name. It's never going to work. So you have to have that right from the beginning, and people shouldn't know your nickname. The chat has proven that the only stage names that succeeded, we don't know the person's real name. We don't know Glenn Jacobs. How many people know that Kane is Glenn Jacobs? If he has like maybe 10 million fans, maybe 1 million know Glenn Jacobs. And 9 don't. And that's me being generous. I don't even think that many, 1/10 of the people know that name. Reza, thank you, brother, for your super chat. Bro, tell your guys to... Okay. I was reading something else. Then we have Justy Keres, again, $10 super chat about the Vitali. Why would Devon ignore the call out? I feel that he just wants to prove a point. We are stopping an historic match from happening just to prove a point or to slap someone in the face. I think so. I did discuss that in yesterday's video. I think that the reason why Devon isn't going to Baku, it's not that Engin is going to kill him. It's not even because he promised to Brian Shaw that he won't go to Baku. Brian has agreed that he can go there. He can do whatever he wants. It's because maybe now he wants to prove a point. when the Eastern arm wrestlers quit, Devon tried to stop them. Devon literally messaged them. He DM'd all of them to explain the situation. Why are you leaving? What's happening? They didn't respond well, I guess. And now Devon is out there to teach them a point that even your paycheck can depend on me. If I don't show up, Kamil would have competed against Zaur. Maybe you have won. Maybe you have got your $3,000 or $5,000 not super chat, but your check, whatever you deserved. And now, guess what? You're not going to get that win. You're not going to get that match. And you're not going to get that money because I'm not going there. I think I'm guessing that's the point that Devon is trying to prove now. That's why he's not going there. And that would be, in my mind, that would be one of the most ideal situations in this case. Because if that happens, they will have animosity towards Devon. Maybe deep down buried hatred against Devon. But maybe they'll start competing. Because Devon was saying that I remember him saying that they will realize it's the biggest arm wrestling league in the world. They will come back. I remember Devon saying that you cannot stay away now. Arm wrestling is too big. The payout is too good. Where else are you going to compete? Engin told me for how many years he has signed a non-compete. I'm not going to reveal it here. But since they've already publicly discussed that Engin has signed a non-compete and it is not going to expire anytime soon. So is Engin going to organize a new league in someone else's name? Is Engin's son Emir Turzi the new owner of West versus East Arm Wrestling? Imagine what happens. Imagine if this happens. Emir Turzi, Engin Turzi's son, he comes on Engin's channel or maybe creates his own channel and Engin is sitting in the background. He's laughing. Okay, good boy. You go ahead. You're the man now. You're the man of the house. You run this thing now. And Emir Turzi is like, hey guys, I'm Emir Turzi, son of legendary arm wrestler Engin Turzi, and I'm thinking about following my father's footsteps, and I'm thinking about starting a new league which is called West versus East. We already have 30 European arm wrestlers logged in who are going to compete with us, and I'm inviting others to join here. That would be the ultimate boss move. The league is registered in his son's name, and Engin is like, bro, I don't have anything to do with that. That would be awesome, man. That will be the ultimate. I don't know why I'm laughing. It will be like the ultimate backstabbing betrayal deal in arm wrestling if Engin starts that. But it would still be funny. Would you like to see that? Like, even if you're an Engin Turzi hater, would you still like to see that move from Engin? Man, this guy is like 10, 5, 5, 20, like given me $50 today. That's awesome. India versus Pakistan will be a great move, I think, for Engin next league. And selling it to Robert's son. And yeah, then Engin's son's son takes it back 20 years later. And then he's the new owner. And the cycle continues. Robert, I saw Robert's picture on his Facebook. He has like 5 daughters. I don't think from that picture I was getting a message that he doesn't have a son. Maybe he has, but he is not included in that family photo. What adult male watches WWE? Many do. I don't watch WWE. I stopped watching it like 2010, 11 maybe. But then I recently watched the Triple H podcast, and amazing. Like, arm wrestlers should watch these guys speak. They should watch Vince McMahon's interview, Triple H's interview, Stephanie McMahon's podcast. If I'm literally telling you, if Engin Turzi started watching these WWE podcasts, he would be learning a lot of things, man. Lot of things. Pradeep, I respect you for your work, mate. Thank you, sir. We have been going live for 1 hour, 35 minutes now. I messaged my brother yesterday and I said to him, brother, I think no matter what happens, at least for a month now, I'll be live streaming every day. Man, how can I not live stream? I've seen these bunch of YouTubers become big from live streaming, and it's a good money source too. I was expecting like maybe I'm going to make like $10 per live stream. That was my estimate yesterday. I made like 60 in the first one. And he was like, yeah, you sleep at like 5 a.m. every day, so why not? And I've literally been sleeping. not even 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 7 a.m. Don't know what has happened to me. When the sun comes out, that's when my brain is like, okay, time to go to sleep. Because my work schedule is different. Like someday I'm working on afternoon shift, someday morning plus night shift, someday only night shift. Every day. There's not a single hour in the 24-hour clock when at which I don't sleep in a month or so. If you take a time period of maybe just 50 days, so in those 50 days, if you remove the time from like 5 p.m. to 2 a.m. or 1 a.m., 5 p.m. to 1 a.m., I never sleep between that time ever. But other than that time, I sleep every time. Sometimes I'll sleep 2 a.m., 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Sometimes I'll sleep at 10 a.m., 9 a.m., 11 a.m., 12 p.m., 1 p.m. I can sleep at any time except that time that I just mentioned. So yeah, it's right. If I'm sleeping at 5, 6 a.m. anyways, why not go live for a couple of hours, 12 a.m. to 2 a.m. It's 1:38 right now. So why not? I was thinking about ending it like in 60 minutes, but we can go on. Still 143 people watching. I hope people don't get bored too often. Pradeep bhai, if you can say Devon can use his power to his benefit, then why calling him a cheater is wrong? I never said it. I didn't disagree. I didn't even agree with Coach Ray backing down when he was like almost apologizing. Yeah, he shouldn't have called Devon a cheater. Bro, breaking the rules is cheating. It doesn't matter. Some people say if the referee didn't see it, then it's not cheating. It's like saying that if the police didn't catch you, then you weren't speeding. You were. You're just not going to get the fine. Come on, man. So that's what I have to say. Yeah, I never said it that Devon is not a cheater. Just cares or cares, $10 again, brother. Thank you. I want this channel to succeed, brother. Also, I have a question. Why do you use that damn ugly background? Why not put an arm wrestling clean AI background? Now I can use green screen too. We are in 1080p from tomorrow. I think I can do that. I have a green screen. I need to find where it is, but I do have a stand and a green screen. Clean AI background. You are a businessman, remember? Yeah, you remember that comment. You have been here right from the beginning. Yeah. Thank you, brother. Again, not single-handedly, I shouldn't say, but almost single-handedly made me rich today. Join him, bro. Join who? Who is joining who? There is no point arguing with me if you just want to argue, man. Daniel Y. Okay, Daniel Y is having a discussion or argument with someone else. Bitcoin is like fine pasta and wine. What do you think about Vitali versus Levan 2019 match? Oh, good match, because that was the match that made Vitali popular. That was the match that I would say even made Levan more popular. That was the first like super match, at least in the European arm wrestling and also at the topmost level of arm wrestling. That was one breakout match that the world talked about. Vitali versus Levan. Yes, people were speaking that Ongarbayev took Levan's wrist, which was like weird. Why would you say that? Levan was just, if you know, anyone who has arm wrestled knows that if you're trying to clamp onto someone's fingers, if you're trying to prevent them from slipping, like same gripper thing, if you're trying to squeeze the gripper really hard, your wrist is going to bend back. So that's what happened to Levan. He was just trying to squeeze him, trying to stop him from slipping, and Ongarbayev slipped. That's why Levan's wrist was bent back. It was not like Ongarbayev top rolled him or something. So bro just types in super chats. Just Mr. Beast. Yeah. Awesome. So where was I? Yeah, so that was one breakout moment for arm wrestling, because at that time everyone was talking about that. They were saying that Vitali is the... Keep in mind that first round made most of the arm wrestling community consider Vitali as the number 2 guy in the world, just because of that first round. I mean, that is still one of the most impressive rounds against Levan. If you ignore the couple of rounds where Hermes stopped him, the first round that Devon stopped him, that's the 4th most impressive round against Levan ever in all of the super match history. That first round in the Vitali match. And maybe even the fifth one goes to Vitali as well, because there was another round where Levan had to go for like 7, 8, 9 seconds to beat Vitali. So maybe that was the reason. Engin Turzi is the enemy of the sport. Pradeep, I agree with you on a lot of points, but I feel like this revenge thing might result in the downfall of East versus West. And I guess a new league might be needed because this Shaw Classic event looks boring. East versus West was working perfect, man. It was working perfectly fine. Robert Baxter, as I've said, yes, he's a great businessman. He has proven that. I've heard like he's very rich, but he didn't do a great business deal in arm wrestling. Yes, he got East versus West for a good price, but then why would you have Engin Turzi why would you sign a agreement for Engin Turzi where you are literally giving him all the power in the world? Referees, matchmaking, commentary, announcing, and rules. What else is left? What else is left? Just the marketing team cannot make the league big. These things also have to be changed at least a little bit. Why would you do that? That was not a smart business move from Robert Baxter. What do you think about Henry's fake account, who is a pure Devon hater and Dennis lover? That's I don't think too much about that. I don't remember seeing I have seen Henry's fake account comment somewhere, even on my live stream. I was more worried about my own fake account. The guy was like shitting on all of the arm wrestlers. He created my fake account. He was shitting on all of the arm wrestlers. And my policy is I cannot, unlike Engin, I cannot ask other YouTubers to ban a guy. Like I could have literally, everyone would have followed. I could have told everyone that this is a guy with my fake account. Just block this guy. He's talking shit about all of the arm wrestlers, but I cannot do that. That's why I was in a problem. So I literally made a community post that this guy is posting a bunch of shit about arm wrestlers under my name. It's not me. And I won't be commenting on anyone else's channel. So I completely stopped commenting so that the people know. Then the people started telling in the chats that Pradeep was saying that he's not going to comment anywhere else. So if we see any comment on any other channel, it means it's not Pradeep. So I think that strategy worked, and the guy vanished. The guy vanished. Justy, thank you, brother, once again for all of those amazing super chats. Kalina is the biggest MF in arm wrestling world. It was good. Tomorrow I'll try to get someone. Maybe Hermes Gasparini on the live. Maybe Kalinishenko. Maybe even Kamil Jablonsky. I wouldn't want to message him from my second account. He's going to probably block that too. But let's see. I'll ask him what's the problem there. Problem with the Devon setup is that he don't do what ref tells him to do. Again, tell the refs. As a fan, tell East versus West that you can. I am a big Devon fan. I pay for the pay-per-views. But if you foul Devon out for the sake of being fair, for the sake of being strict with the rules, I wouldn't complain about it. Message that to... Yes, he did block me. Message that to East versus West. I'm quite sure if many people message that, they will consider a change in their opinion. The thing is that Robert recognized Engin as the ambassador of the East. This is probably why he did not want to cut him. I believe things were working fine, but Devon and Engin clashing was the real deal. Yes, it was. And it's like more personal issues. They don't even have some professional issues with each other, Engin and Devon. I don't think so. It's more like personal issues, and that is hurting the league. So yeah, you can add both of them too to the enemy of the sport list. And guys, whenever I'm saying the fans are the enemy of the sport, everyone is the enemy of the sport, of course I'm joking, because when Engin used to say it in a very serious manner, he never said it to me obviously, but he said to many fans during his live stream, that literally pissed me off. I was like, yes, he's by far, not even close, he's by far the biggest arm wrestling promoter. If we combine all of the other promoters together, they still haven't given us half of the amount of good super matches that Engin has given us by himself. So the guy is a legend. Awesome. The best ever to do it. But then who the hell is he to give certificates of enemy of the sport, that this guy is the enemy of the sport, that guy is the enemy of the sport? That shit pissed me off big time, man. I didn't like it. I literally told the fans, like, In my videos, I used to say, don't let anyone tell you that you are the enemy of the sport. Just imagine how flawed this concept is. Engin was saying that in many of his live streams. Then he stopped saying that because of the backlash that came from us. How flawed this concept is. The guy who's hanging around in a arm wrestling YouTube live stream for like 30 minutes, listening carefully, commenting about things, being aware enough to comment about things, to have opinions about things. How can that guy be an enemy of the sport? He's clearly a fan. He may be your enemy, and instead of saying that, yes, he's my enemy, he's the enemy of Emir Turzi channel, he's the enemy of the sport. Like, that is one of the weirdest things that I've ever heard. I'm yet to find a person, Engin will not agree with that, but I'm yet to find a person who wants arm wrestling to shut down, who wants arm wrestling to not grow. Like, if you want arm wrestling to not grow, why would you waste your time on arm wrestling for like 1, 2, 3 hours every day? Such a foreign concept to me. I cannot understand that. To me, anyone who's watching and commenting, no matter how hateful a comment it is, he's clearly a fan of arm wrestling. He may not be the fan of the channel that he's commenting on or the athlete that he's commenting about, but he's still anyone who says that I hate Devon, anyone who says that I hate Vitaly, I hate Dennis, or I hate whatever arm wrestler he hates, to me, he's already the fan of arm wrestling. You cannot hate anyone from the sport unless you already love someone. You have started to hate people. First, you start to love a few arm wrestlers. You start to respect them, like them. So you are already a fan even before that, if you ask me. Baku event would happen if Devon agreed. That's why East versus West asked for venue August 30. Yes. So maybe they can have more time to convince Devon to go there. I agree with this. Pradeep, was Engin talking about you when he said in his video that someone wanted to come to be a commentator? No, he was talking about Aussie arm wrestler. Aussie. Because I and Engin had already discussed that topic privately to like years ago. So I know he was talking about Aussie. That Henry account, Engin kept inviting me. I was the one who cannot go. Even now I feel so, even though it was out of my reach. I have a job that prevents me from traveling to other countries, unfortunately. Like, I need to have a good enough reason. I need to tell them in advance, like at least 3 months in advance, which is literally not possible. And then I have to like book tickets in advance and a bunch of weird stuff. So even though it was out of my hand, but I still feel embarrassed until this day that the guy had trust in me. Engin Turzi had trust in me. He kept inviting me like East versus West 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 4 times he invited me. And I couldn't go because of my job. And because of the contract, I couldn't even leave my job. So I still feel embarrassed for that. Like, what kind of arm wrestling content creator am I? The guys are inviting me. They're paying for my tickets. They're paying for my hotel, food. They were even willing to pay me some money for working there. And I still cannot go. I feel ashamed. What kind of content creator am I if I cannot even travel? And that thing still hurts me. I've discussed this subject with, I've literally asked for many people's help in this subject. I'm yet to find a solution for that, but hopefully in the future soon. Do you think PPL will take over global arm wrestling if East versus West fails? As of now, I don't think they are ready. Their production is clearly by far the best because they're literally going on Sony Sports TV. Last time they had 32 million unique viewers. So unique viewers here means TV sets or app installs. So whoever watched on the app or whoever watched on the television, 32 million different electrical appliances had Pro Panja League turned on during those 72 days. So yeah, production wise, it's not even close, man. It's not even close. There are guys who have been at East versus West and also Pro Panja League, and they'll tell you the production level is not the same. There's a big difference. East versus West is not close. That's their job. They can't arm wrestle for free in another country. Leave your job. Yeah, I have a 20-year-old bond at my job. I'm trying to get around that bond somehow. I love how Levan is completely out. Yes, yes, he did the best thing. Pradeep, was Engin talking about you? No, he was not talking about me. The Drew has posted Pro Panja League. On my side, it's not showing that the link is working. But yeah, people can type. Come on, Drew. You don't need to be working that hard, bro. People can type Pro Panja League if they want. They can do that much themselves. What was the issue with Engin and Coach Ray? I don't know. Engin was saying that, yeah, he had in his mind to just give Coach Ray some rest. Come on, man. Why would you give a guy some rest if he doesn't want rest? And why would you post stuff like don't learn from an average arm wrestler, learn from world champions like Bojidar when Coach Ray was also selling his program? So clearly Engin had some issues, maybe because he competed at the AMC event. Maybe that was the reason, I don't know. But clearly there was some issue and Engin didn't address that. That Henry account was the same person who was using your account profile and name. It's possible. Some evil person who wants to, for no reason, tarnish everyone's MS event, everyone's image, gets a kick out of it. Pradeep, what's your take on Devon not going to Baku and strongly avoiding that topic? I don't think he strongly avoided that topic. He talked about it a lot. Recently, he has stopped mentioning that, but he's still inviting Vitali over. And we've discussed this, Thomas, Jess Scott, we've discussed this topic in detail in this live stream. So I'm not sure if I'm going to repeat all of that once again. But yeah, we have discussed that, and it was maybe Devon has a plan. Maybe he wants the European arm wrestlers to feel that the whole event can fail without Devon. Because Kamil Jablonsky uploaded a video requesting Devon to go to Baku so that all of the other guys can also have a match there, and then later on he deleted that video. I wonder why Kamil deleted that video. I think Devon wants to try and eliminate the need for East pullers. He cannot do that. Emir Turzi made it absolutely clear. It could have been done until 2021, but Engin made it clear that yes, some of these European arm wrestlers may not be able to sell pay-per-views on their own, but they do add a lot to the card. Like Samusha cannot sell pay-per-views. Come on, man. Maybe Samusha can sell like 100 pay-per-views on his own. Like maybe a little bit more than that. But the thing is that when he gets added to the card, it adds to the prestige of the overall card. When the sponsors see, when the viewers see, well, the 10 times champion David Samusha is competing. He's the man. Then it adds to the prestige. So on his own, Samusha may not be a good guy to sell pay-per-views, but then he can add it to the card. Vladimir Myrov, he cannot sell any pay-per-views. Let's be honest, I will sell more pay-per-views than Vladimir Myrov if I'm arm wrestling. But then when he gets added to the card, he adds the prestige. If you add me to that card, people will say that's bullshit. Kick him out of the card, otherwise we're not going to pay. That's the difference. Those guys can add to the prestige of the event. And that's why I think they're necessary. And Engin Turzi has proven that. सो जाओ प्रदीप सो जाओ भाई आप सो जाओ मेरा तो डेली का काम है लेट सोने का मैं तो रपी बना रहा हूँ आई एम गेटिंग रिच मेकिंग दिस गोइंग लाइव सो मे बी आई कैन स्टे अवेक I still need to learn. I'll probably download, if I want to make this a like full-time everyday thing, then I'll need to download a detailed video explaining, an hour-long video explaining how everything in this StreamYard website works. That's the reality. You can't compare yourself to people who arm wrestle for a living. Yes. So I am the one saying that they are important. Devon cannot prove that Devon cannot get rid of the European arm wrestlers. They are needed. Because now everyone knows that the highest level is over there. So the lightest champion, what's that, 70 kilos? Ustinov is still the champion, I guess so. Is he? He's from Europe. Left-handed, right-handed, same thing. Go to 80 kilos, both from Europe. Go to 90 kilos, Todd Hutchings. Then left again, Europe. 100 kilos. 105, okay. I was like, who's the 100 kilo champion? I don't remember. Then I remember that there is no 100 kilo category there. Devon on the right, then left again Europe, 115. Right, left, both Europeans. And super heavyweight, right, left, both Europeans. And it's not like just the champions are from Europe. Like the top 5 guys are from Europe. What are you talking about? So no one in this world can convince me that now the fans are suddenly going to believe that the North Americans or just the English speaking community can have good arm wrestling events just among themselves. It's literally impossible. The fans are not stupid. Can Pradeep beat Avery lad? Come on, man. That's such a disrespectful comment. If you're talking about like a 60 kg world champion arm wrestler, then I'll still say, okay, that makes sense. Maybe it's a good match. Pradeep versus Jody Lariat would sell. Yeah, we can like show a little bit beef, fake beef as well. Like my comments about removing Jody from the stage in the Evgeny Prudnik match and stuff. Then that Matthias guy, Devon's friend, I was like, in the video, I was like, the 12-minute video it was, I remember, and I got more than 1,000 comments under that video, and maybe 950 of them were supporting what I was saying. I was like, people were saying in the chat when I was live commentating that Jody shut up. So that Matthias guy, what he did, he made a golden weird button kind of thing with the speaker, and he gave it to Devon. So that part was cut out where I was saying, Jody, shut up. and when he was like, he gave it to Devon. Devon himself sent me that story. So he found it funny, obviously. So when Devon presses it, whenever Jody is speaking something, that maybe that thing is still in their house. Maybe Jody threw it out. So my voice is in Devon's house. Whenever Jody says something, Devon presses it, and the voice is like, Jody, shut up. That was super funny. So yeah, there can be a beef angle too between us, but no, Jody versus me is not a good match, not even on the right arm. Come on, Pradeep, we need Engin for BMW. Yeah. Piyush. Come on, man. That Henry account was the same. Okay, I've already read that. If I was Devon, I would not go to Baku. When Devon pulled, I turned off the sound because of Jody. Since then, I haven't really had too much problem. Maybe I'm not listening to the audio. That's the reason, because I'm literally commentating, so I cannot be listening to the commentators. So that's a distraction. Man, that forearm, I'm seeing some results. I've had like 5 workouts in last 15 days. So not forearm, but whole body workouts. So where was I? I even forgot. Got distracted by my own forearm, skinny forearms. Table torque. I think that the guy with orange colored logo on his channel that uploads AI audio videos. Yeah, good. Uploads detailed videos. So Baku, August 30 confirmed? No, not yet confirmed. They're still trying to, my guess is they're still trying to convince Devon Lariat. Message Devon in the DMs if you are a Devon fan, if you want to see that event happen. Message Devon in the DMs that, Devon, go to Baku, we want to see the match. Or maybe teach them a lesson that there is no pay-per-view event, don't go there. Whatever you want, message, so that Devon has more faith in his conviction, more conviction in his decision, I should say. Pass on Baku is make the Eastern guys make their own money. Yeah. So guys, thanks for joining this live stream. It was almost a 2-hour live stream, like literally 2 hours, just 30 seconds remaining. I don't want it to be any more than that. You guys are awesome. Tomorrow, mention the topics after this live chat ends, in the regular comment section, mention the topics that you would like to discuss tomorrow, and we'll go live same time tomorrow, 12 a.m. midnight till 2 a.m. midnight, 2 a.m., 2 hours past midnight tomorrow. We'll be here again. I hope the audio was okay. I hope the video was okay. I hope the rant, the conspiracy theories, everything was entertaining today. Thank you guys. You made me happy. Utilize this time well today.